What does it mean to run the damn ball?
Man, I never really thought about that question. I'd say to run the damn ball is to just give it your all. You know what I mean? The way it just flows when you say run the damn ball is just like put everything aside, clear your mind, that mental block, and just go for it.
To get in the end zone. Well, here we go. And touchdown. Second of the game. It's Martinez. Keeps it. Touchdown. Husker gonna go. Brambles tackle. Push the ball back a yard. Martinez will flip it out, and it's caught.
Welcome back to Run the Damn Ball. This is your host, Daniel Magnuson. We got Andrew Pfeiffer on today as he drove from Omaha to Lincoln to be here. We also got Chancellor Brewington joining the podcast. He is entering a super senior season with Nebraska football, also wears number 82, and he delivers the meanest crack block ever seen in Memorial Stadium. Today, we'll be hearing some of his story and also some cool stuff he has planned for the future. Chancellor, we're excited to have you on today. Thanks for joining us. And how are you doing?
I'm doing good. I appreciate it. Seeing your stuff on Twitter, so I'm excited to be here.
Awesome, man. All right, is there a story behind you being named Chancellor?
So Chancellor is actually my dad's middle name. So his name is Jamie Chancellor Brewington, and that is his mom's maiden name. So that'd be my grandma's maiden name.
Yeah, so you kind of have a double last name then.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I remember, Andrew, you can talk about it. He did the Fordham game, so you were on the radio for that.
Yes, so your first career touchdown was actually a game that I called. And so when you were just walking in here, that's what I was playing on my laptop. So you probably heard your name when you walked in. You know what the hell's going on. But I have I'll show you if you want to see it. But it is me calling your first touchdown. And here, I'll pull it up so you can see it.
Throw the ball this time, and that's going to be a touchdown on the flat. Chancellor Brewington, the wide receiver, a new name that we have.
So, yeah, your first career touchdown was my first career game of calling that game.
Okay.
Which was super cool.
Yeah.
And especially when I saw on Twitter that you posted about wanting to do a podcast where you could bring your friends on, and I was like, I can't not. Like, I got to take advantage of that. And I was really happy that we were able to reach out to you and be able to do this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So, again, we like to thank you for having you on, man. So, it's there's going to be a lot of, especially with, now that Adrian Martinez is gone and like his podcast, he doesn't have a show like at least Nebraska based anymore. That leaves a wide open room, like range for podcasts and shows to develop, and that will immediately, your tweet got like 500, 600 likes, just saying that you wanted to do that and be like on with players and be real and like do your thing. And I think that's such an untapped market that people haven't discovered yet. Yeah. So that just has a lot of potential is what I was going to say.
Yeah, 100%. I think the biggest thing that me and some of the guys just wanted to do was, I feel like there's a big disconnect between fans and football athletes, especially. Just because we have the helmet on, we got the shoulder pads on, we don't really look like superheroes out there, and sometimes people don't see us as humans. So, like, just to be in this type of format, kind of like a locker room setting, and just really be able to chop it up, and we might not even talk about ball the whole time, because sometimes people don't realize that, man, that's all we are around all day is ball. Like, when we jump on certain interviews, it's cool to talk about it sometimes, but then we just want to shoot the shit and just have fun. So that's kind of what we're thinking.
That's awesome.
No, yeah, that's perfect.
I mean, every athlete needs that. Every player, even. I think you brought up a really good point, maybe, because you got the shoulder pads on, the helmet on. To others, you look like just the superhero, and to a lot of people, especially in the state of Nebraska, you pretty much are.
Yeah.
And there's someone on the inside of the shell that obviously is a person too, no different than you or I, and needs to be able to express their voice and their opinion. And I think that'll be a great platform for you to be able to do that. So, do you kind of want to explain like what you were hoping to do with your podcast? You just wanted to bring on as many players, promote yourself right now if you really want
we're
to.
already on the topic, so
yeah, let's do it. So yeah, it's gonna be called What's the Word. We already have we have a little segment on 93.7, so we'll go on there like once a week and we'll chop it up with Derek Pearson. That's our guy, DP. But also we want to, that's kind of censored and there's only certain things we can talk about. So we also want to have an actual podcast where we can really have the guys on, and maybe I'll tweet out a little thing like, hey, who y'all want on this week? And the fans will just reach out and say it's someone saying Lante Brown. So say we have Tay on, and we'll show a different side of Tay that people haven't seen, and maybe I haven't seen either, because when you really get to sit down and break someone's story down, there's certain things that might come up that it might derail the whole script, and we might have to go off script and just really dive into who that person is, but also to get that locker room vibe of just how we really communicate and just the things we deal with outside of football, because football is, it's a big part of our lives, but man, we got some guys have girlfriends, some guys have family situations, family members sick, there's we got to pay rent every month. Like there's real things that going on, we got bills, we got a bunch of things going on. So for us to have that platform, be able to get that out to people, I think that would be a mindset change for a lot of people.
Yeah, I mean, I really like what you said earlier, and to finish off that, like, you guys are. I mean, there's so many different places that are represented on the team, like West Coast, East Coast. I mean, you're from Arizona. There's guys from all over on the team, so it's really cool to have that camaraderie of people from all over the place in our country. And also, I mean, I think part of the reason people see football players as just football players, just from afar, like as a fan's perspective, I think part of it's like, I mean, in football, you're wearing a helmet, right?
Yeah.
People don't really see the faces.
Yeah.
And so it's sort of like, people say football is like a contact sport. Like, really? It's like kind of like a gladiator sport.
It's like, kind of
you have
like
to sacrifice your body.
There,
we're in the off season, and so you have a real wrap on your hand. Like, what's your situation with your right hand right now?
So I had surgery, got some pins out, so I just have some stitches right now. That's why the wrap is here. But yeah, that's basically it. I get it off in like 5 days.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Were you playing with an injury last year?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, and it was kind of just something I just had to deal with. Just kind of like you said, that gladiator mentality. But yeah.
Yeah. Well,
so my question, I mean, obviously, I know Frost doesn't like to talk about players' personal injuries, because I respect the confidentiality of that. But so you were playing with, was it that hand last season that was bothering you? Wow.
Yeah.
Could have been able to tell. That's the thing that, like you just said, you wouldn't even been able to tell that, like just by looking at you or looking at someone out on the field. You don't know if they're injured, or you don't know if they're dealing with something. And I mean, yeah.
Yeah, it's just part of the game. Like, if you love it enough, you'll push through it. But there's also like a downside. You know what I'm saying? You might have to miss some time because you put your body on the line.
Yeah, I mean, the last game was the Iowa game. I remember we had to talk about this eventually, right? Like, I remember I watched like a sideline video, and so it's like you came and made a block on the right side of the goal line. I think either Yan or some others got in the end zone, and like the noise that like you could hear from the sideline of you hitting like the guy on the outside, like that was like one of the best videos I've ever seen in football. Like, so like what is going through your head like when you're like about to do that?
It's crazy because we had scored on them earlier that game with that same play. We just ran it to the other side on the far end zone, and I mean usually like there'll be some type of flat defender if it's a corner, outside linebacker, safety. That's usually there, so that's the dude I'm a collision with. And the first one, dude didn't want no problem, so it was kind of just one of them where like I just run and just kind of just whatever, so it wasn't no big collision. And then the next one, I had seen they alerted it to their corner, so I already knew it was either like he gonna win or I'm gonna win, and I already knew I was gonna win, but I as I'm coming in motion, I saw him. If you watch the film, he takes a couple steps back, and he kind of gets a head start at me, and then he buckles down last second. You know, because I mean, he's in a tough position because, you know, playing football, you got to also defend a pass because there's a pass out of there. I could sneak off into the flat, or there could be a tight end pop behind. So it was funny though because when I hit him, it was one of them like clean ones. I don't know if y'all ever play baseball, where you hit it right on the barrel. It feels like you don't even feel it get hit. So when I hit him, I popped him, and then I didn't know where he went. Like he literally went into the ground, and I was looking around, and then when I saw him, I was like, oh dang, like he's messed up right now. Like, I seen his eyes, it was all crossed or whatever. And then I had got up, and it was crazy because like a couple of nights before, LeBron hit like a game winner, and he was like doing like the like big balls and celebration. So then I knocked bro out, and then as I was running to the sideline, I did that same celebration, and like all the guys on like Wino, Tay, all the other guys were doing the same dance. It was funny.
That's funny. Well, because you got the ultimate head start on that play. Because I watched from the broadcast angle, and you started like left side of the field, like in motion, and like that guy just waiting there, like, oh no, it's over.
Yeah.
But yeah,
it's crazy though. But he's the one who ended up picking the game-winning pick.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
So he didn't. Oh man, he didn't get completely knocked out then.
Yeah. So he recovered. Big shout out to him. But I mean, we're gonna get him next year. But yeah.
Yeah.
He'll know who you are.
They'll remember that. So you're from Arizona. What are some things you did growing up there? And how did your childhood help you get to where you are now?
AZ is hot, but I mean, when I was younger, I moved all over the place. My dad played professional baseball, so we were all over the place. He played like 3-4 years in MLB, but he played 12 years minor. So we was going. I done went to Canada. I done went to New York. I done went to Florida for spring training in Louisiana, like Shreveport. Like we done went everywhere. That was when I was young though, but we settled in the AZ, and I mean still out there. My dad he was a scout. He always involved with baseball. So my childhood growing up was all baseball. Just a lot of dugouts, a lot of spring trainings, a whole lot of spring trainings. But yeah.
Did not know your dad was in the MLB. That was really cool.
That's pretty cool.
Do you know organizations he was?
I think I could probably name all. He played in MLB with the Giants. That was like when Barry Bonds was there and Deion Sanders, and yeah, he has a lot of stories of that. And then he played with the Indians. I want to say that was when Manny Ramirez was there.
Oh yeah, I saw Manny Ramirez play in person. That was really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he with the Twins, Royals, Red Sox.
It's a lot of teams. Was it hard for you to like be moving around a lot as a kid?
Well, I mean, I was so young, I don't barely remember it, but I would say no, just because I mean I had my mom there, so
yeah.
But you guys eventually settled in Arizona then.
Mm-hmm.
What age were you when you started that?
I was super young. I couldn't even remember. My sister was a couple years older than me. She was born in AZ. But it's crazy because like she was the only one born in AZ, but she's the oldest. And I was born in North Carolina, Kinston. So my dad's actually from Greenville, North Carolina, but he was actually playing ball somewhere out there. And then my sister was born in Rhode Island. Yeah.
So you guys were all over the place.
Yeah, so yeah.
Wow.
My parents have a lot of stories for sure.
So obviously you have like athlete in your background with your dad being a pro baseball player. Did you see, when you were younger, did you see yourself, either playing baseball or, reaching this point?
Well, if you would tell me like when I was growing up I was gonna play football, I probably would have been like hell no, like because I was a real baseball player. Like I lived and breathed it. My favorite team was Pirates. I could have told you everyone on the MLB roster. I could have told you they top 15 prospects in the minor leagues. Like I was a diehard baseball guy, but
that's awesome.
I have football in my roots though. My granddad played for the Raiders and my uncle played for the Jets. So like it's in my blood. So and my dad played football too, but it really started in high school, my junior year. My sophomore year, I had really just came out and like tried out for a little 7-on-7 team, and they put me on varsity, and the kind of rest was history. So high school was really my first years playing football.
That's awesome. So you didn't play tackle football until high school?
I played 1 year of 8-man when I was in 3rd grade, and then my mom told me I couldn't play no more.
Yeah.
now look.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
Because she said it was too violent.
Yeah.
That's how my parents were. They told me if I didn't work out all summer before, I couldn't play. So.
Oh, my parents didn't give a shit. They're like, you just go get beat up and have fun. Like,
Yeah.
All right. But that, I mean, look at where it's got you. I mean, you said that, well, pretty much you started when you were a freshman in high school.
Sophomore.
Sophomore. Even more impressive. Like,
but they didn't let me play though. I didn't play my sophomore year, so my first year playing was junior year. Really, like they didn't put me on the field. Like I was like, kind of just a kid with potential, and they didn't, But yeah.
Now you're playing at a Division I level, man.
Right.
Wow, that's kind of a long. Did you want to talk about that kind of migrates into that next question?
Oh yeah. So with you playing your last 3 years of high school and football, how did you end up going to Northern Arizona? Were there any other options you wanted out there? But
after my junior year, I got probably like 10 offers, and it was like basically like all of Mountain West. So like that's like Utah State, like those type of like Wyoming, like those type of schools, and then had a couple, like I think I had New Mexico and some other Sun Belt schools. So I really didn't even have an FCS offer in high school. And then it just happened to where my senior year I was so focused on, I was playing three sports at the time. Like I'm playing ball all year round, just like trying to be a kid, you know what I'm saying? And college football is a crazy industry, and I didn't fully understand the whole keeping in contact with coaches and making sure things are still on the table. So when it got to a point where my senior year ended, I just tried to start like ramping up conversations back with coaches, and I thought I still had the offers, whatever, that the rivals was reporting and all this stuff. And I would call them, they would be like, oh yeah, we had a coaching change, like I don't work there no more. I was like, wait, what? And it happened with like 4 schools in a row. So I got down to my last school. I was going to commit to Utah State. And I remember I called, forget his name, but I called the coach and I was like, yeah, like I want to commit. And he was like, well, I'm sorry, we gave it to a JUCO dude yesterday. And I was like, dang. So I'm in December. This is December. We signed in February. And I don't have nowhere to go. Like I'm talking all 10 Division I offers all at the table. And the N8 Northern Arizona, they always were in my ear, like, look, if you don't have nowhere to go, let us know. And I called them and I was like, look, like, here's the situation. Like, can y'all come down to the crib? Like, can we talk? So they came down to the crib, and they didn't even have any spots. Like, they kind of just, I don't know how they did it, but they made some room. And then obviously they weren't planning on getting me ever, but it worked out naturally. And I actually ended up being like the number 1 FCS signee, because like I didn't have any FCS offers, so it just happened that way. And they welcomed me with open arms, and I appreciate them.
That's awesome. And how long were you at Northern Arizona for?
I was there for 3.5 years.
3.5.
Basically 3.5. Graduated, and then I moved here.
That's awesome. So, what was that migration like, going from North? Like, why Nebraska? Like, how did Nebraska present themselves to you? Like, did they reach out to you, or was it kind of like a mutual thing? Like, how did Nebraska get into that picture?
Coach Lubick, he had recruited me in high school a little bit when he was at Oregon. So familiar face, familiar name, and just the tape, and it just kind of happened naturally. Had a tie. My uncle, Toby Wright, Javen Wright's dad, he played here. He was a second-round draft pick back in the day. So he had some juice here and kind of got my name in the door. And,
And then, so the podcast you're starting
Mm-hmm.
soon. What's
Yeah.
the word, right?
What's the word? Yep, WTW.
Got it. So I guess we can plug that social media later. But so it's gonna be you, and then Javen Wright.
And Noah Pulley Gates.
Got it.
All
Yeah.
AZ boys.
That's
Are you-
awesome.
So are there any other Arizona guys? I know Ty Robinson is, but
Chuba Purdy,
oh yeah,
Baron Miles Jr.
that's what's up.
Yeah.
Yeah, me and Chuba's dads played together when there was with the Giants. So
Oh, in the MLB.
I think they played. They were young. My dad was young. I think he was in like AA at the time, like right before he went up. But yeah,
That's what's up.
Yeah.
That's cool. So wait, so you're related to Javen then?
we're like play cousins.
Oh, I see.
But I mean, his family, my family, his family. So
Mhm. That's cool.
yeah,
So I guess that probably played a role in you ended up here pretty big.
100%. He's my
Yeah.
roommate. We do everything together. Yeah.
That's what's up.
I'm trying to find found it. The What's the Word WTW podcast and on the radio, 97.3 The Ticket. I'm just looking at the at W What's the Word on Twitter. So there's a plug.
There you go.
Yeah.
You guys are gonna be. Or you just want to be on Twitter, where you're gonna post all the videos and stuff.
Well, eventually we'll get YouTube and all that good stuff. But I mean,
I just dropped a follow.
Oh yeah, I gotta do the same thing.
we need that.
Oh yeah, and then for those of y'all listening, me and Andrew are helping them do the video stuff
Yeah.
Yeah.
for What's the Word.
Mhm.
Yep. And obviously, it's going to be nothing like this. It'll be a lot more. We'll have more cameras. We'll have more angles, and like we'll be able to kind of fully like
Yeah.
be able to get you guys in like a full production. So
Mhm.
this was kind of just like scrambling last.
This is
like,
Run the Damn Ball. We're
just we're fucking around.
Yeah.
Like,
Stuff it out.
yeah.
Okay, so this is the question I've been wanting to ask because I think there's gonna be a big story behind this. So, was there a play that you made in practice last year, or like when was it that the whole team knew like okay, like the Chancellor Brewington in motion block run play is like the play to run? We need some yards. Like when did people figure that out? Yeah.
I don't know. Like I'm be honest. Like I mean I did some of that at my old school, like a little bit. Like there might be a screen where I gotta go dig out a backer, but like that wasn't like a reputation. Dudes know I was about stuff, but like it wasn't nothing crazy. So I think probably like week 2 in the camp, there was a, you go from install to install, and there's a couple plays where you have to go head up with a backer, and I remember like it was just I remember you kind of insert in the A gap, and it's like in line, like you got to really go head up with a backer, and I just went there with my head down, and you just heard a pop, and then everyone was like, wait, who was that? Like it was like, who was that? And I was like, oh, that was Brew. And it was like, oh. And then I remember the next day they were watching on film, and Coach Greg Austin, the old O-line coach, he came up to me, he said, you a bad motherfucker, boy. I was like, I appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. He was like, you don't talk much, but you about it. And I was like, yeah.
He didn't even think about putting you on offensive line.
Oh, no, he know better than that.
Yeah.
They need to name that play after you or something. The Chancellor play.
I was actually looking for one of the Iowa videos, and I ended up coming across Nuri's radio show, and he was talking about how, I mean, I don't know if this happens like often or it's just that one play, but like whenever y'all watch film, like it's like one of the highlights of watching film is like, all right, here's the play where like Brewer can blow someone's up. So
yeah, Coach Beck, he'll run it through, but he don't like to give no one a big head. Like it don't matter who you are, if you number 1 or number 5, on the board, like he gonna give you a props, but then he'll also be like, oh, you could have done this better, or like I remember Fordham, I kind of hit dude and then I pushed him down. He was like, oh, don't push him down. He was like, but I like it. Being an asshole, I like it. Yeah.
kind of like Cam Jurgens bullying that OU dude.
Oh yeah, he a dog.
man.
Cam a dog.
Yeah.
He's working with Jason Kelsey now.
Yeah.
Which is
Right.
I'm an Eagles fan, so
Okay.
like watching Cam Jurgens go there and work with literally the best center in the NFL is like, crap.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I was surprised to see him go round 2. I didn't. I thought he'd get drafted. I was like, dang, I didn't know he'd be that high.
Yeah. I think the players knew it because we didn't see, like, in the summertime, like right now, he runs with us.
Oh, so
Like,
he's currently, is he running with you?
No.
Or
like
when he was.
Like when he would run with the skill.
Oh,
Like he wouldn't run with the big guys all the time.
Oh, dang.
Yeah, so like you would, I remember I first came up here, I didn't know no one's name, I didn't know nobody. And I was like, and I remember Cam was like one of the first dudes I met in the weight room, you know, because he was always in there. And I'm like, hey, how you doing, Cam, whatever, okay. And we run later that day at like 4, and he's out there running with us. I'm like, wait, you play tight end? Like, what do you play? He's like, no, he's our center. And I said, what? How much he weigh? He's like, oh, he like 295. Doing full sprints, change of direct, like full workout with us. Yeah.
He's a bear.
He's a beast, though.
Yeah.
I remember when I was in high school, obviously, like, they would go skill in line when we would do sprints. Like, they would have linemen sprint, and they'd give them a little more extra time, and then the skills would go, and they'd have shorter amount of time. But saying that, like, a lineman is running with the skill, that's terrifying. That's really cool, though.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah. Who do we think's going pro? Maybe this is too early to say, but like, who do you think's going pro from this team right now?
I think Omar's got a shot.
Yeah, he's pretty good.
Omar's good. Ollie's good. People don't know how good Oliver is.
Oliver Merton.
I think he's won the most one-on-one battles, like in one-on-one this spring I've ever seen. Like he literally like ain't nobody could guard him out there. But yeah, he's good. Obviously Trey. I'm talking about older guys.
Yeah.
Trav, Casey.
Wait, so you're listed as a tight end, but do you also do receiver stuff too?
Yeah, well, in this new offense, like basically, like half the time you can't even tell who the tight end is, to be honest. So there's gonna be a lot of roles where a lot of the tight end, there are gonna be multiple tight ends on the field running routes. So that's kind of where I come in.
I guess my only to talk about offense, I hope they keep they probably will, because a lot of new offensive
Are you
stuff.
gonna say triple option?
Well, but they have to keep the crack block.
They will.
They have
At
to.
least I hope they will.
Yeah.
I wonder if they will. We obviously didn't. That's not a vocal point in the spring to go over that, right? So
Yeah.
We probably. We probably had the best, percentage rate of like success with that. I think we only got stopped one time, Michigan game. When we tried that, you know what I'm saying? What was that, 4th down?
Yeah.
That one hurt.
Yeah, that
That one hurt.
that was a tough one. That was one of the coolest games. Even though we lost, that was one of the coolest atmospheres.
Oh,
when
the night game too.
Yeah.
Crazy.
I don't know what kind of night games they have going on for next. I know they have a couple.
So
but
Indiana's a night game, and that's
Homecoming
homecoming.
was crazy last year.
Yeah, it was.
That was fun.
Was the craziest thing I've ever been a part of.
That was really
Yeah.
fun.
Fourth quarter when the lights went off.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was crazy.
You're going to Ireland in a little bit. That's gonna be really fun.
Yeah.
Are you guys gonna get it like a week early?
Yeah, I think we're gonna get there on Monday or Sunday. Yeah.
So you got a whole week in Ireland just to kind of mess around and.
Well,
no.
They should let y'all mess around. Come on.
They're gonna put duct tape on the doors in the hotel room. See who's walking out.
It's tough though, cause you gotta approach that with like a straight business. Cause whoever gonna take the most serious gonna win that game. It ain't gonna come down to talent and all that stuff. Like you in a whole nother environment. There's gonna be opportunities probably to do certain stuff, and whoever takes advantage of that time, I think is gonna win the game. You know.
Mm-hmm. And it's so weird. Northwestern's a very weird team because they'll be Big Ten championship contenders one year, and then, like they were last year, have only a few wins, which is weird because they're so off and on. But yeah, no, I think you brought up a great point. I think I'm glad that you handle that professionally, and I think that's awesome. And I'm glad that everyone else probably feels the same way. But I'm excited. I'm really excited. I know Nebraska fans have the habit of drinking Kool-Aid before the season starts and all that, but I always want to say every year it's something different. It's something different. It's something different. It's like Dallas Cowboys fans, but But I'm legitimately excited, especially for that Ireland game. So that's going to be really fun for you guys too.
Oh, 100%. I think people should be excited because, from the standpoint of a team, like I think we look more like a team than last year for sure. And they say, a lot of guys say that last year was probably the tightest team that we had, and like, if we go to like say we run or we whatever, like after like guys are acting like they really love each other. You know what I'm saying? Like it's that's hard to find, and especially with all the transfers coming in. Like they're meshing so well, and it's different because you gotta think like you got 5-star, 4-star dudes coming in, and they, with certain stuff like you can sometimes expect them to act a certain way, like with egos and stuff like that, but that hasn't been the case at all, and it's really been a blessing because that's a whole nother stress lifted off like the locker room shoulders, because you never want division, and there hasn't been since all these additions. If anything, guys have gotten closer, and when guys get closer, that results in wins.
I mean, you could probably speak on it because you got here about a year ago.
Mm-hmm.
You've seen it all from the team. I mean, last year and then this year, and how that's all changing. But yeah, what were you saying, Daniel?
Well, yeah, I mean, you and some other guys, came in last year, the year before, and so they've gone through the same process, and so it's like, well, I got here last year, people accepted me, so it's like, we return the favor, and it's not like too much effort you have to put in. It just feels natural. So that's really good to hear.
Yeah, for sure.
And obviously, people can say whatever they want. I mean, I'm sure you hear it all. Nebraska fans are crazy like that, but you're not. You never really know, like A, what someone's going through, or B, like what's actually going on behind closed doors, except if you're a part of the process yourself, which you are. And so, obviously having that camaraderie in the team is very important, especially with team chemistry and all that. And people can say this, people can say that, people can say, oh, he's cocky, oh, he's this, and but we truly don't know. I mean, you do, but nobody else that is not a part of that program doesn't. And hearing those positive things, I'm glad to hear that people are meshing well, especially the transfers and all that, because they brought a lot of people.
A lot. Like, you look at the lockers, and I'm like, dang, like, I don't know how, like, when guys come in, usually it's like 20 guys for freshman class, maybe, 10 scholars, 12 scholarships, 8, well, it's different here because there's more walk-ons, but yeah, usually, there's only a couple guys. I think we added 33, 35, something like that.
That's so many.
Yeah, so it's like really like it's like an NFL free agent type thing right now. It's crazy. Yeah.
That's the thing with the transfer portal now. It's like you could pretty much almost just call it free agency.
Yeah.
Because it's,
Oh, it is.
Yeah. Because people can up and leave whenever they want, and, it's different now than it used to be like 5 years ago. And so.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I got one more question. So, you're going to be recovering from a hand surgery. So, last year, Casey Thompson, one of the main quarterbacks we got, he also had a hand injury last year.
Mm-hmm.
How is he doing, with throwing and just like progressing back from an injury?
He's doing good. Well, Casey's a leader. He's a natural leader. So whether he's in or out or, throwing or not throwing, he's always involved with, if we got walkthroughs, he's always going to make, even, he gonna snap or he going to do something to benefit the team. So he's always involved, and I'm pretty sure he's doing good right now.
Yeah. And you guys got a lot of depth, too.
Crazy depth. Like, it's insane.
I think wide receiver, is that the most stacked position right now?
I seen him walk out to like, we was doing drills the other day. They was walking out. I'm like, nah, there's like 30 dudes out here. Like, it's crazy.
It's like an entire roster as a position group.
Even tight ends, we got a lot of tight ends. But we got, all the new running backs coming in, so we got a lot of running backs, a lot of DBs. So, yeah.
I remember seeing like a meme 4 or 5 years ago, and it was like, this football player's name is Dakotas Crawford. And I just remember seeing that like years ago. And then it's funny that he ended up coming here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. that's just shows how deep it. Like I forget some of the players sometimes.
There's too many.
It's just there's so much, man.
Yeah. Well, that's everything we got today on Run the Damn Ball. This has been Daniel Magnuson with Andrew Pfeiffer and Chancellor Brewington. Also, check out Chancellor's podcast coming out this month, What's the Word? And, that's everything.
We're excited to get that up and running for you. Hoping that it'll give you, an outlet to be able to do the things you want to do and express who you and the other athletes really are. Just kind of behind closed doors, and we're really excited to get that up and running. If there's anything else you want to plug, anything else you want to add, go for it.
No, but check out What's the Word for sure. Me, Javen Wright, and Noah Fuller Gates. If y'all ever, free on Thursday nights at 6, we're on 93.7 FM The Ticket. Other than that, I have some merch coming out here soon.
Ooh, tell us about that. What's that?
Yeah, so the line is going to be called The Chancellor. There's going to be some spinoffs with that, with the name and all that stuff.
Got a logo?
Yeah, we're in the works of it. It's tough for me because I'm not a big, me guy. So I have to have my mom and my homie back home handle it, because if it was my choice, I would just, throw some whatever on. But I know the fans kind of want to see, probably a silhouette of me, hitting someone. I know that would probably go crazy. Or, Sir Chancellor, or, something of that nature. But I'm open to ideas. But that's, we're going to have a first little drop coming soon.
Awesome, man. What's the word? What's the word? It's at what's the word? W and what is capital, T and the is capital. It's what's the word on Twitter. It's not going to be too hard to find. And just go to Chancellor Brewington's Twitter, and you'll be able to find that through there too.
Yeah.
Daniel, did you want to plug any of your merch or
I might make some later this summer. Oh yeah, shout out Reactor Coffee over by my neighborhood in Clinton neighborhood. They do a good job over there. I can throw in any other ads later.
Megan's killing it. But,
yeah, good for Megan.
All right.
That's everything. Run the damn ball.